Hello everyone, I'm Jeff, and today we're going to make our first 3D print with the Robo3D printer. Let's get started. Before we begin, you want to make sure your Robo3D printer is plugged in, powered on, and connected to a computer with a USB cable. First, we're going to work with a 3D model in the Robo3D software. Let's load a model. We're going to use a model of Yoda from Star Wars I found on the Thingiverse website. Robo3D software offers a variety of ways to view the model. We can rotate the model to change our view angle. We can pan the model up and down or left and right. And we can zoom the model in and out. There's an option to fill the screen with the model, to view models from different angles, such as from the front or from the top. So let's go ahead and view the model from a bird's eye view and fill the screen. Next, we're going to make some simple changes to the model. I'm going to change the model scale to 0.6 times its original size. This will allow it to print more quickly. We can scale to maximum or reset those settings. We can also center the object or rotate it, cut it into pieces, or mirror it. Next, we're going to configure our 3D printer settings. First, we'll configure the print settings, which specify exactly how the 3D model will be printed by the printer. We'll specify our layers and perimeter settings. Typical layer height is 0.2 millimeters, but the first layer is often thicker to allow it to secure to the print bed. The infill settings determine the density of our 3D model, and it can be set anywhere from 0% to 100%. 0% would be a hollow model, and 100% would be a fully solid model. 0.4% or 0.4 is a good setting. The speed settings we're going to leave to the default. And the skirt and brim specifies how many loops and the distance of those loops from the object are printed before the print actually is performed. Support material is useful if there are overhanging parts of a model. In our case, we don't really have that issue, and the model actually comes with its own built-in support material. We'll want to be sure we save our print settings. And then let's go ahead and slice our model with the 3D slicer software. This is advanced algorithms being applied to the model to tell the printer how to lay down each individual layer of the model. Some complex models can take a long time to calculate and even longer to print. In our case, we have a relatively small and simple model. So the estimated printing time will be roughly 1 hour and 21 minutes. We've found models can print up to several hours depending on their size and complexity. Next, we're going to prepare the printer by activating the printer filament heater and the printer bed heater. We'll specify the temperature of the bed and the extruder, and by clicking the icons we'll turn those heaters on. Next, we're going to prepare the printer by inserting our new plastic filament into the printer head. If the printer head is heated, as we push the new filament in, it should cause the outflow of any previous plastic filament that was in the printer head. If it was a different color, you'll want to make sure you push as much filament through as necessary until you begin to see the color of the new filament. Once you reach this point, you'll want to be sure you remove the extra filament before you begin the print. Next, we'll be sure we tighten the printer filament head. On the Robo3D printer, this can be a relatively tricky process with the springs as part of the screw setup. It can take a little practice to make sure you get both screws in without the springs popping them back out again. And once that's done, the final step will be to apply some blue painter's tape to the printer bed. We've found from experience that many 3D models do not adhere to the printer bed as well unless we use some sort of material such as blue painter's tape. Alternatives might also be spray adhesive, glue sticks, and even hairspray. We'll want to make sure each individual piece of tape lines up. We've also found that applying some rubbing alcohol to the blue tape also helps with the 3D model securing to the surface. And when we're ready, let's run the print. And there it is. So let's review what we've learned.